Hello and welcome to, uh, we're going to explain an app to you for teaching called Explain Everything. Haha, I used that twice. Yes, the app is called Explain Everything. It is a whiteboard app that you would use primarily to give notes. And I would suggest that this is a tool you would want to use in conjunction with a projector. So you will need some way to connect your tablet to your projector. And there are a couple ways to do that. You can do it through AirPlay. If your school has AirPlay, you can use an Apple TV and you can project it through the Apple TV like that. It all depends on what your school likes to do. There are obviously Microsoft solutions as well for Microsoft computers, but I'm not familiar with them. So we're going to dive right into it. Explain Everything. It's a $5 app, but I think it's well worth the money. I'm going to click on it here and bring it up. So top left, we got the plus button. That's going to create us a new note-taking whiteboard session. And I'm going to click the left template, although you can pick whatever colors you like. Here we are. So I'll start pointing out what we got. We've got a whole tool set on the left and some stuff on the bottom. Your students don't see this if it's being projected. All they see are what you write. At least that's my understanding. Okay. No, that might not be true. They may see this as well. So I'm going to point it out. Right here is the drawing tool. And as it's currently selected, that's why I was able to draw that arrow just by dragging my finger over the screen. If I click the little arrow at the bottom there, it gives me choices of how wide I want the stencil to be. So if I click this guy here, for instance, now I get arrows that are this wide. All right. If I don't like the color I'm in, I can go down to the bottom here. So check this out. Let me go back to single dot. I can go right here and look at the colors. I'm going to go to red, and now I've got red arrows or red squiggles or whatever you want to draw with them. And if I don't like the red, I'm going to click the red and hold it down, and I can choose my color. Isn't that neat? So let's say I want purple. Ooh, purple's pretty. Now I can make a purple smiley face, which is what I've always wanted to do. Okay, so that's the drawing tool and the way you manipulate it with the colors. Okay, now you got a bunch of stuff on your screen that maybe you didn't want to give for notes and you made a mistake. So let me show you how to get rid of them. I'm going to go to this tool right here, which is the eraser tool. And you can see I highlighted it in blue. If you click the lower right, you can change the width of the eraser. I'm going to go on the biggest width for now because I want to erase a lot. And I'm going to erase just by dragging my finger over the screen. And you can see this is taking some time because I want the whole screen. So I'm going to show you another tool that's even better, which is... it's not on the screen right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click just below that eraser. I'm going to click that little target. Okay, and notice when I did that, right above it an X appeared. And that's what I really wanted, was the X. So I'm going to click the X right there. And that X, you'll see, if I click here, look at how it selected everything on the screen. And now I can just delete it all. Now, if you didn't want to do that, you delete stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, I wanted part of that back. How do I get it back? Looky here. There is an undo button. So I'm going to click that and all my stuff comes back. Now, if I really did want to get rid of it all, once you click the undo button, you can see to the right of it a redo button. That is the clockwise version. So I'll click that and sure enough, I got rid of my stuff. So far, so good. Okay, I'm back up here to the draw tool. So I've got the draw tool. I've got the erase tool. I've got the color tool so far. Now let's do some text. So I'm going to undo those, undo, undo, and now I'm going to do the text tool, which is right here. So click that. And you can see you can adjust the font size and the border, etc. I'm going to go with 44 because I like nice big text. I'll go text up here, and when I click it, it creates a text box. And if I hold that blue guy in the bottom right, I can change the width of the text box. To type in it, double click. I'm a chemistry teacher, so let's do a chemical equation. In purple, no less. Nope, no, sorry. NaOH. We'll make it acid-base equation. And we're going to add to that NaOH some H. Whoops, give me a space here. Some hydrochloric acid. Oh, I didn't want a period there. Sorry. Now, I don't have an arrow in here, so I can't put that in. But on the other side, on the product side, I'm going to put in some, yeah, I know it turns into salt when I put hydrochloric acid with sodium hydroxide. And I need to add the other piece, which is, whoops, which is the water. Now, water has a subscript in it, H2, right? Well, look right here. If I click this guy, see what just turned blue? That is a subscript symbol. So I can put in a subscript slick as you please. And if I don't want to do the O as a subscript, I'll click it again, and now it's no longer a subscript. And now I can put H2O. So you have the subscript, superscript functionality just like you had before. Pretty nifty. Now, that's text. We have a text box. If I click off of the text box, I get the pointer tool again. By the way, the pointer tool on the top left can be used to drag stuff if you wanted. And if you do a two-finger drag, you can, is it going to let me? Yep, you can tilt stuff. Isn't that cool? And you can pinch and squeeze in order to make stuff bigger. That's the pointer tool. Anyway, I was trying to get to the shapes tool. So I need an arrow to go from my reactants to my products. So let's drag this guy to the shapes guy. Now he's pointing at shapes, which are right here. I'm going to click the box again to make sure I have it. So I have circles and squares and lines and stars, but I'm going to click that arrow tool, and I'm going to make it black. So I went down here and clicked black, and I'm just going to tap the screen, and sure enough, there's an arrow. But I put it in the wrong spot, so I'm going to drag it here. Cool, huh? So now I have a true chemical reaction, which is NaOH plus HCl goes to NaCl plus H2O. Nifty. All right, so we've shown you quite a lot of things here. We are also going to show you a couple more. For instance, this guy down here, which is the zoom tool. So I can use this, and right now so let me contrast this. We had this guy drags the whole page, and I can drag it up or down, etc. And the page is really as big as you want it to be. Now, if I go back to the top, up here, that just is for dragging stuff. So right now, with the pointer tool, I can drag text, I can drag shapes. If I click this, I can drag the shape, I can drag the text, I can drag the drawings. So the pointer tool drags stuff. This guy down here, the zoom tool, if I select that, just drags the whole bit, the whole page. And I can pinch it and make it small and zoom way out, or I can zoom way in. That's what that tool does. All right? So far, so good. There's a couple other things we can do. I'm going to point to this one right here. This is the last one I'm going to show you before I get to the video recording stuff. This guy, if I click the plus, allows you to throw in some stuff, some neat stuff like photos. If you found a photo of a science thing online and you wanted to put it in your presentation, you could totally do that. If you had a video and you want to throw it in there, or a sound file, you could put it in there. But it also has this math equations button. I'm going to click the math equations button. Ooh, look at that. This is cool stuff. How many times have you been in Microsoft Word and wanted to do x divided by y or something similar, but it comes out as a sideways slash, right? Because that's all you get. I'll point it out. Here's this one, right? You always get this. 1 over 2. I mean, that works, sort of, but sometimes it's confusing. Now, I'm going to delete that. Look at this. You can now do it the right way with 4 over 5, or whatever numbers you want to put in. And that's kind of cool, right? Now, there's other functions as well. There's the square root function you could put in with an 8, and you do the square root of 8. Or if you didn't want to do that, you could do the cube root of 8. How neat is that? Delete some of these. You could put in an integral function. That's a thing. You could put in a sigma function, a sum of something. That's a thing. Okay? Limits, they're all in here. That's kind of neat. Now, if you look on the left, the highlighted words structures. See where it says structures just above there? Those are all the math functions you could put in. All right, I'm going to click the thing next to it that says symbols. Ah, symbols. So now I can put in all those symbols I've always wanted to have, like phi. What a fun symbol that one is. And pi, everybody loves pi. And we got a theta in there too, and a delta. I use delta all the time. And we have alpha, beta, gamma when we're doing radiation. Okay, and lowercase sigma if you wanted that for polarity and stuff. The only thing I'm a little disappointed that it doesn't have is a lambda for wavelength. Okay, but all those Greek symbols are in there. That's really cool stuff. All right, click off of that. Now, let's say you ran out of room, and even though you could shrink with this tool here and get more room, you're like, no, I want more than that. Okay, I want to go to a whole new thematic slide. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to rotate to down here, and that arrow will create other pages. Look at that. Isn't that neat? And now you can see both pages I have right down there. I could even change the template because I want this page not to be in that color, but I want it to be in black. Oh, I guess it applies it to both. All right. So I can I can draw stuff here. Here's my new page, and if I want, I go right down here and back, and it just goes back and forth between my pages. All right. So that's there. We also have this button. This little red button allows you to record this. So you could record your notes, and it would record whatever you say, it would record what you have on the screen. And so you now have a video file of your notes. And if you go over here to this button down here, it will upload it to YouTube for you. So if a student missed that class period, now you actually have the video and you've uploaded it to your website and linked it from YouTube, and now no one ever has to miss out on your notes ever again. So this is a very powerful functionality. Again, it requires a projector, it requires some kind of wireless connection in order to be truly functional as you walking around with it. But we've just shown you some of the stuff that you can do with this, and already I'm sure you have tons of ideas for how you could use this in your own room. Okay, this is called Explain Everything. It's an almost free app, and you get it on your tablet. So, hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you find some use for it in your room.